it's been the LIT Gaelic Grounds for a couple of years, but now LIT have partnered up with the Athlone Institute of Technology. And a spokesperson for LIT said, I think it's now going to be called the Technological University of the Shannon, Midlands Midwest. So that's going to replace LIT and AIT from October the 1st. So where do they go with that? What's the LIT Gaelic Grounds going to be known as? Is it going to be the Technological University of the Shannon, Midlands Midwest Gaelic Grounds? Is that what it's going to be now? What do Limerick fans make of this? And what would they like it to be called?
Yeah, there's way too much going on there anyway. The LIT Gaelic Grounds, they actually got away with it because it was literally just putting 3 letters at the start of the Gaelic Grounds. But I don't know if they're going to put the Technological University of the Shannon Midlands Midwest, or the TUSMM, or there's just so much going on in that. There are some pretty bad GA ground names out there as well already. Like something like TEG Cusick Park. You totally get away with that. It's only adding 3 letters. Then there are some other ones where there's just 3 or 4 words coming before the ground's name. And
UPMC Nolan Park. I mean, you wouldn't really think too much about it.
No, you'll get away with that. But when you start putting loads of words in front of something, you just won't get away with that. You just won't. I can see obviously the grounds or the county board, they're not going to turn away money. Of course they're not. But there's not a hope of journalists or anybody acknowledging it as the Technological University of the Shannon Midlands Midwest Gaelic Grounds.
Do you know that Gauna in Cavan, they became the first club to sell the naming rights to their club ground, and it's going to be called Club Spot Park. And then obviously within Cavan we know it's Kingspan Breffni Park, which is interesting. That almost, because Kingspan is so synonymous, and this is why brands link up, that it just becomes almost part of the fabric of the GA identity. And that's what sponsors are doing when they try to get involved with things to do with GEA, is to just become that part of the community thing. And then you look at the other end of the spectrum, when St. James's Park for Newcastle became known as a Sports Direct, or at Sports Direct to St. James's Park or something like that, the fans were going nuts over it.
Yeah, it's awful. I work a good bit in racing as well, and there's certain races that are synonymous by the sponsor's name, or were synonymous. There used to be the Lexus Chase, and that's a dream for a sponsor. Everybody just still calls the race the Lexus, even though I don't think Lexus have sponsored it in the last 10 years. Or they're probably like the Betfair Sprint or something like that. But when it gets too highfalutin, or there are too many things going on, people will just revert to type. It's funny, there's a race at Galway called, I think it's the Connacht Hotel Handicap, and GPT used to sponsor it, and everybody just still calls it the GPT because it's just the handiest way of referring to it. But I'd like to hear, does anybody know, what do they think are the worst names of GA grounds, or the worst team names, even where there's just way too many things going on? The simpler the better, I would always say in this instance, or it just won't catch on.
I'm getting comments in here suggesting that other places have already had these names. Pádraig Gill, this naming grounds nonsense is just that, nonsense. Just leave it at the Gaelic Grounds. How much is it even worth? I'm actually just clicking into an article there from 2019, and as part of the 10-year deal, LIT were paying 300 grand to Limerick over 10 years for name rights to the stadium.
That's a huge amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of money for jam for an association. It's very easy to dismiss it there, Pádraig, but you can't ignore that either. And he adds in absolutely no one, only officials and the media, because they have to add the corporate titles to the grounds. Mostrom in Longford were actually first C&D, Edgeworthstown Club, C&D Divine Park. Interesting.
C&D Cat Foods, isn't it? It used to be owned by Albert Reynolds, I think. Yeah.
Let us know there, Pádraig, is it? The Adair Manor Grounds, we're getting in here as well. They can call the Gaelic Grounds whatever they want, lads. As long as Limerick are going well, no one will be too bothered what they're called. It's the way things are gone now, though. But that other point that Pádraig made there, that people are just going to call it by the original name. Most people call Lansdowne Road the Aviva there at this stage.
Yeah, I kind of mix between the two of them, I'd say. But particularly from a club's point of view, a club like St. Brendan's Park in Borough will always be known as St. Brendan's Park. But if somebody wants to get involved and give us money to put something else on it, I'd say that would probably be up for debate as well.
Would one of the local bogs not sponsor, the Bog of Allen?
Sure, the bogs are out of business now at this stage. Board Namone already sponsor O'Connor Park as well. But it's just, particularly with clubs and county boards, it's so hard to get funds now. I think they'll take anything that they can get.
Yeah, a good one here from Will. Dumbarton in Scotland play in the cheaper Insurance Direct Stadium. There's definitely got to be more, and like I'm sure people out there know about them. So get the comments in. As you know, we love getting the comments in because we don't think of everything, and a lot of the time, some of the great talking points we get are from comments coming in. If you enjoyed this piece of content, please follow us on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of the page, which helps the channel grow. And if you want audio podcasts, go to patreon.com/ourgame.